Oh, shoot.
Hi.
Just an episode trying to figure out how to go live. This is super fun.
Should I say the infamous quote? I don't know.
I mean, go ahead.
Boom, we're live.
Oh, Sevon. Yo, you can't use that.
The infamous.
Yeah, no, that's
the infamous quote.
But I mean, if you want to try to, we can go live and talk about like the CrossFit games, but damn, he used his
I did.
opening line.
I felt like I was like the perfect place. I don't know. I think maybe he'll be flattered since it came from me and not from you.
But are you admitting now that you actually watch his stuff to catch up?
I do.
You do.
So it's for real. I admit it. It is also certain people though. So it's certain things with like specific athletes that I really want to hear their stories because, we have that history too, where when we first got into CrossFit, we watched all of the behind the scenes and we always loved being able to get into the athlete's space in the rawest form, not on the floor and not, behind all the lights and everything like that. So, he does always get the best out of people. So it's cool.
I don't know. That's how we got into it. That's how we got into CrossFit. We got into CrossFit by watching, Sevon do it.
Yeah.
Like all of his behind the scenes, all of his whatever just made it fun to just be like, oh yeah, I can go do that.
Yep.
And so yeah.
It made it personal in a way that felt like we could connect to our favorite athletes, not even just on the competition floor, but just their personalities. And I think that's such a cool way to do it. And there's not a lot of sports that are able to show that. Not sure if it's more from the athletes themselves.
I don't know if it's not that the sports aren't able to do it. I just think that Sevon was able to show it in a way that that we weren't used to.
Yeah. But I'm saying like it's new or not new, but like it was a cool way. Like when we started getting into CrossFit, it was a cool way for us to almost fall in love with it faster.
Yeah.
I think in a way.
Yeah, and I think he talks about that and he's not wrong. Like he's not wrong. I think he did the best job of showcasing everything. Like showcasing just us working out alongside of these like Greek gods that we're watching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and I don't think that very many people did that anywhere else.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep.
mad at him or not, like the CrossFit games are coming up, and the thing that people are most excited about is watching him or watching whatever he puts out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Yeah, because it's another perspective. And I think that, there's this, I guess, misconception in every world, whether it's a podcast world, whether it's a fitness coach world, whether it's a CrossFit world, like CrossFit affiliate world. It's like that it's too saturated. There's too much stuff. There's too much insight. There's too much podcast. There's too much behind the scenes or whatever. I believe that is also the beauty of it, because you can have an interview, and I'll just pick, my favorite athlete. We'll talk about Patrick Vellner because he's my favorite. You watch him be on 2 different podcasts and have very different conversations, and you see different lights in him, as well as him having his own YouTube channel. Like, so it's glimpses of their life from different perspectives, because every conversation, every question can lead to a different conversation. So I like it in the way that we get to see different sides. You know, one podcast might really be focused on the games, like particularly just the games. Whereas another one might be like, how's training going? And you kind of get to walk through his training or his YouTube channel. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy, even though it's kind of like, oh, it's another one about, you know, Patrick Vellner, or it's another podcast about, you know, someone else or whatever. Like I think it's so cool to be able to see them in different lights.
I mean, Patrick Vellner is always going to be like invited on every single podcast because he's Patrick Vellner.
Yeah.
I know you don't like to talk about the champ, but
Who?
the champ,
Who?
the whole champ. I know you don't like to talk.
Who? Which friend? Which champ?
Well, you're. I get it. You're petty. It's Petty Wop Wednesday. I understand it. Like you, I get it. But Patrick Vellner has been around for so long that no, if you want to have an insight into the CrossFit Games, you're going to ask Patrick Vellner. You're not going to ask, and as much as I love him, you're not going to ask Adler. You know what I mean? You're going to ask the OGs. Like you're going to ask Fikowski. You're going to ask Vellner. You're going to ask Matt Frazier if he'll come on your podcast. Like you're going to ask all those people.
I am so excited to see Jeffrey Adler at the games.
I am too.
I'm so excited to see. He looked great at semis.
I was lit when he went to semis. I was absolutely lit.
He looked fantastic at semis. I'm like who else are you excited to see? Like, what's your list? You don't have to give me like everybody, but maybe like top 5. Who are you really excited to see? It could be men and women, or if you want to do just men and then just women.
No, I'll do both. That's fine. Men, super excited to see Roman Karnikov. I want to see if whatever he did over the last year, like, just I feel like he's just kind of a beast that's ready to unleash. I'm excited to see Adler. I think that whatever he's been, I don't know. He just looks amazing. And with no Ricky, and you know, the men's field's different than the women's field. But with no Ricky, yeah, I'm excited to see what Adler's gonna do. I'm not. You're gonna be mad at me for this, but I love the champ.
I'm not mad. It's okay. We can have differences of opinions.
I legit love the champ. So I hope whatever. I don't know what happened over semifinals or whatever, but I'm not worried about him. I think he's gonna roll. But yeah, if Ricky's not going to be there, like I am excited to see the champ versus Roman versus Adler.
Okay.
For the men. For the women, my nostalgia wants Annie Thorisdottir to do all the things. Yeah, and I'm excited to see Emma Carey. I'm excited to see Alex Gazan. I really want to see what she can do.
The youngins.
Yeah. And also, where's Katrin at?
Really?
I mean, HWPO.
Interesting. I mean,
where's Katrin at?
Because you call me a hater, a champ hater. You're definitely a Katrin hater.
I was definitely a Katrin hater. But I mean, the girl, like, I'm excited to see where she's at.
Mhm.
So
Alright.
she went to the right camp with the right people that she knows. She knows Matt and she trusts Matt.
Mhm.
And so I'm super stoked to see.
What happens?
Yeah,
What has happened? Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Mm. Interesting.
I am. And I think it was brought up, and I think it was a um 99% sure it was a Savant podcast that brought this up, but who will be the most or who's the best CrossFit athlete out of Iceland? And if Annie podiums this year, it'll be Annie, and if you know what I mean, like if
Yeah.
Annie beats Katrin, then it's Annie. If Katrin beats
Yeah.
it's Katrin. So
Mhm.
let's go.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
Those are interesting picks for you.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm kind of on the
That's all right. Listen, she, like you said, she's at a new place. Let's see how she performs. I think it was which one was it? I think it was that little spin-off podcast that they do, Death by, for Talking Elite Fitness or whatever.
oh, that's something you
What's
know I don't.
what's the girl's name that is on their team? Tommy, Sean, and who else? Who's the girl?
Oh yeah, I know. Khaleesi. She's the blonde girl.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know who
so
you're
she
talking
does
about.
this and comes on and, like, asks questions and, people can get points, and Chase Ingram was on, and they were talking about the whole scoring system or whatever, and how, like, one of the questions was, "Do you believe," and I'll ask you this question, "Do you believe that 0 points for 0 reps is good?" Would you be okay with
Oh,
0 points for 0 reps? Because Chase Ingram, love him,
I know he's your
does
favorite.
does not hold back and is very clear and true to the point, brought up the facts, and don't completely quote me on it. If you wanna know the actual number, go back and check out Talking Elite Fitness and that episode. But I believe that year that Katrin and a couple of people didn't do any pegboards, they still got points for it. And I
Yeah,
think it was
absolutely.
something like
Yeah.
50 something points
Yeah.
for it.
Yep.
And I guess in semis, like if you the one with the ring complex, with toes to ring, the muscle up, and then the dip, and then the burpees or the pistols and the burpees, that one for the
Mhm.
semis.
Yep.
If you didn't get, or like you only got points for how many burpees you got. And I think Sydney Wells or someone got only 2 points because she couldn't get there. And what they're saying is that, like, would you be okay with 0 reps for 0? I'm sorry, excuse me, 0 points for 0 reps? Because technically she didn't do any of the pegboards. So she should have gotten a 0 points
Yeah, man. I mean, I
if
would.
that was, yeah.
Yeah, I would be. I always go back to when Rich Froning in 2010 couldn't get a rope climb, and it was put out there that Dave Castro was like, "Yo, if he can't get a single rope climb,
Mhm.
he's not getting the podium."
Yeah.
Uh, though, like, I mean, I'm not mad at it, but at the same time, like rules for rules. Like if Rich Froning can't get a rope climb, so he's not gonna podium. He's not even
Mhm.
gonna podium.
Mhm.
Then if catching David's daughter can't get
One pegboard.
right, then
She shouldn't have
you
been.
don't podium.
Mhm. Or win.
No, but the original argument was like if Froning can't get a rope climb,
Mhm.
he can't podium.
Right.
So if we're there,
Yeah.
then she didn't get a pegboard, so she doesn't podium. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. I yeah, Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I have so many like the 2 wins that Katrin had, like, it was tough for me
Mhm.
because I also didn't understand it. It was not tough for me that she won. I'm not a Katrin hater, but also it was tough for me that she won. The first one was because, like, she literally slapped her arms and was like, "Oh, I'm saving my arms for the next."
And then she won the next event.
Right,
Mhm, and
exactly,
got the
and
100
then
points, yeah.
she won it.
Mhm.
The second year, 2016, it I forget what it was, but there was a controversy there too. I'm sorry, I can't think of it what it was, at the time.
16?
Yeah, she won 15,
Yeah, and
16.
16. 16 was they went back to the ranch, they did all that, that was that year.
Yeah, there was a controversy there too. It was
Yeah.
weird, and Tia ended up in second place, and um she didn't finish something. I feel like it was like
Another thing,
it was
yeah.
another thing she didn't finish, but Tia finished everything, and I was like,
Oh, yeah, the last event.
yeah,
Tia finished the last event, and she didn't, and
yeah,
she
yeah, yeah,
still
yeah.
won or whatever.
How do
Yeah.
you win? How do you finish an event and somebody else doesn't finish the event and they win? Which is
Mhm.
why I feel like they came out with the catch and rules for a limited period of time, which was just this is the minimum work requirement. That was the catch and David rules.
So why do you
And I'm not a
th
hater. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a hater on her, but it I feel like CrossFit set it up to be that way.
Yeah, because that's kinda my question. Why do you feel like they keep changing the standards, the rules, the clear cut, like, if you can't do something, then you get 0 points. If you don't do a minimum work requirement, and it's this whole concept of, like, making sure that you're trying hard enough, and that is completely up for, discussion per person. I mean, I could sit there and literally be trying everything.
Yeah, the run with Brooke Wells where she like you just have to show that you're running hard enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I mean, and it's such a questionable rule, but why do you think, I mean, especially because CrossFit is based on standards and fundamentals
I
and
mean,
whatever.
honestly, for me, I feel like it's such a new sport that
Mhm.
they're trying to figure it out.
Mm, okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're trying to they're doing all these things, the cuts,
Mhm.
implementing whatever, like, hey, I'll show you this movement 2 weeks before. Go ahead, practice it. You look good while you're there. Hey, I'm not gonna show you this. You're gonna look like crap.
Mhm.
Kinda just let like the crossover double under.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna show you that you have to do this, so I'm gonna let you look like crap when it happens. I personally love that workout. A lot of people didn't because, like, I why are you gonna put these guys looking like crap? But, I mean, to me, it just was like, "Oh, they can look like crap too." You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't I didn't
Makes them human.
yeah, a little
Mhm.
bit.
Mhm.
And so I just think it's a new sport trying to figure out what what works and what doesn't, especially when, it's about money too.
Yeah.
They're trying to appeal, they're trying to do the right thing and like help people get into fitness.
Mhm.
Also, they have to make money.
Yeah.
So, I think they're just such a new sport that they're trying anything to see where it goes and see
Mhm.
what appeals to most people.
Okay, I could see that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see like the trial and error and trying to see what works and what doesn't. I find it very interesting because when you look at the principle of CrossFit, it is a standard and this whole concept of preparing you for the unknown and the unknowable. So when Buzz or Dave or something, or someone at the games, Greg, through these unknown events and these unknown movements or unpredicted movements, is it really far-fetched from what the concept of CrossFit is? Or is that the difference between the CrossFit Games as the sport and CrossFit as the methodology? Because one of my favorite events, and I don't know if this was one of yours, was the chaos event. And I kind of wish that Dave pushed the unknown movements a little bit farther. Like, it was cool to see that none of them knew what was coming. But I kind of wish that, like, he pushed the movements a little bit harder for them, but it also was a very good first test of, like, this is really cool. It was like the ski. Do you remember which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the ski and all that.
Yeah, the one where Fraser's trying to do burpees to a target and Fikowski is like, hey,
and
bruh.
Yep.
And bruh.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the first time that tall guys were like, yo, burpees are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't mind it. The only problem was whoever finished the first movement, you knew whoever that was, like, got the unknowable, and then everybody else got the knowable because you could watch them and be like, oh, that's the next movement.
Mm-hmm.
I think I understand Dave's thought process behind telling them how many box jump overs, like the tall box jump overs they had to do.
Yeah.
I understand why they did that.
Mm-hmm.
But also it would have been pretty cool to watch them not know how many reps they had to do for that one. Like, I wonder how it would have turned out if
they didn't know.
If they didn't know to turn it on or not, and then they had to turn it on for the snail drag.
Yeah.
Or whatever that was called.
Yeah.
But, like, that would have been
yeah, that I think you're right. I think that would have been cool to see, because they had to make the choice.
Yeah.
They had to make the choice on, are they going to push hard enough, because they're looking down the field and there's only one implement left. However, you don't actually know if that's the end, because it also could be something where you pull the snail and then you work your way back down to the beginning. That's also something that could have been done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if they would have felt like it was going to be like that, because they kind of had a time frame, because the women went first. So that for the men specifically, they kind of knew, like, okay, the women were out there for this amount of time. So maybe when they saw how many stations, they could have kind of measured it out a little bit and played the game a little bit. But I agree with you. I would have loved to see who would have sold their soul on the box and then really got to the end and was able or unable to pull the snail. I think that would have made it like the true chaos event that I think, we all as fans were looking to, like, see, I know?
I think the spectacle that they wanted happened at the time, because we weren't analyzing it. The one event that I think was unknown and unknowable, that I think everybody kind of got to just witness, and what was it, like, run a 5K and then run a 5K back. That was it 2020?
Oh, the
COVID one?
The hill.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, that was gnarly. When they said that, I was like, yup, let's go. And I know that so many of the athletes have been like, for what? I get it. I understand it. Because, like, you sell your soul for a 5K and then you win it and you get nothing because the person that was slower behind you now has more left in the tank.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
But damn, that was, as a spectator, as someone watching at home on a shaky YouTube channel, like, that was,
I remember us being like,
fucking fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's
damn,
so
like,
awful.
Oh no. And when Fraser flipped the bird, I was like, yes.
And he sat down,
Yeah.
and then Dave just turned Medeiros
like,
around and pushed him.
Yo, you gotta go.
Like, you better go get him. And
yeah, that was that was one of the coolest CrossFit Games moments on television. That was that was one of the
that was pretty cool.
I'll put that up there.
Yeah,
for sure.
That was pretty cool.
But yeah, like you said, I love I love all the ones that I know you are not a huge fan of run, swim, run, or run, paddle, run, or paddle, run, swim, paddle, run.
No,
I get that. I know it.
I'm so over it.
Yeah, I know.
The coolest swim event, and it. I mean, I guess you can get into the conversation of the cuts and where people are feeling like the cuts are a good thing because Dave or now Adrian Buzz can be more creative and with less equipment and whatever. I still think that the coolest swim event was the COVID year as well, where it was the assault bike, the swim, the GHDs, and then the med ball slams. And then they had to go reverse and then they had to go again. And I thought that was the coolest CrossFit event ever. Like pool wise, like water wise. I think that was in comparison to the year that they did the bar muscle ups too. The swimming and the bar muscle ups where Froning almost drowned.
You're right. Yep. Froning almost drowned. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You know, I think that there is a true art to be able to put swimming and water into different workouts. The other one was the ocean swim where they had to do the kettlebell.
That was my favorite.
Was it kettlebell thrusters?
It was like kettlebell thrusters and you moved
burpees in the sand.
Yes.
Yep.
And then you
had to go back, right?
And you had to swim afterwards. Yeah. That was probably my favorite.
Yeah. I just think having another implement that kind of gets you out of the water and then we watch you get back into the water and you know what I'm saying? Like, I think those are pretty cool. But the straight freaking swim.
Girl, you're just mad at Fikowski being like, when he told Fraser and he was like, yo, you're not going to beat me in a run, swim, run. Just like, I'm not going to beat you in a overhead snap, whatever that.
No, I love that. I liked the run, swim, run. I didn't like the swim paddle and then the farther swim paddle like that. I was totally with your boy Armin on that one when he was back in the day when he was live streaming from his phone.
Like that shit either, yeah.
And he was like, are you for real?
Yeah.
And I think I said the same thing. I'm like, if they come out with this whole stupid thing of another swim and paddle, but longer distance and everyone, and they were also excited about, like that's going to be, and Armin and I were both like, this is such a waste of time.
Yeah. He did not want that either. Yeah. So yeah.
Look at me.
You remember
getting, agreeing with your people and your podcasts and your homies that maybe I wasn't paying attention to in the beginning. Look at that. I come around once in a while. All right. So those were kind of like, I guess I didn't ask you, what is your hands down favorite CrossFit Games event? Or did you tell me already? Did you say it already? Like if you had to pick one out of all the events.
Oh God.
What's one of your favorites or one of your favorites?
I mean, I'm always nostalgic. So and my favorite games, like I'll say altogether, my favorite games was 15.
That was Benny's year.
Yeah.
That was Ben's year.
Yeah, that was and not because he won. I mean, obviously I was a fan and I was like, yo, let's go, Ben. But that was my favorite year. So I guess I couldn't tell you if it was the DT event, because I just love DT. That's my shit. But what was it? I forget what it was called. It was the pig flip rope climb.
The soccer chipper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was my other one.
That was pretty cool.
Oh, and both of those events, Ben Smith won. So maybe that's why. Biased, but
maybe that's why. Yeah.
But yeah, that was my favorite games. I also did love the the was it Diablo? It was 2013 where they had to do like and sorry Josh Bridges, but it was the heavy deadlift and then the single like the kettlebell single uh pistols.
Mm,
And then they had a handstand walk and froning one on that one.
yep.
So yeah, I was a big fan of that too. That was super fun.
Yeah.
I was sad when Josh didn't,
Mm,
but he
yep.
came back later.
He did.
Cool.
He did. Yep.
What's yours? Since you got all
Ooh.
personal.
Ooh. My favorite event or my favorite year?
I mean, I went with both, so go for it.
Mm,
I mean, you came at my neck with that question, so
what do you mean?
I wasn't ready. You didn't.
We were talking about events and I
I
was
mean,
like, "Oh, that would be a cool question." Um, what's my favorite event? Well, I just
I mean,
shared with you I liked the
you
pool
have to go
one.
to the games because if you go like regionals or semifinals or
Mhm.
sanctionals, like there's different events I liked in there. But yeah,
Oh, you know
games.
which one I liked because it was so different. Um, and we kind of or not kind of, we had to watch people really keep their shit together and not lose it to continue and to finish the event was I don't remember the name of it, but it was the ring handstand push-ups and it was like a front squat
Yeah,
or a
the
back squat,
overhead squat. It was back squat.
front squat, overhead squat with
Yeah.
bar facing burpees.
Oh,
I forget what
that was
that was
16.
16.
Yep.
I forget what the name of the event was, but I loved that one because again, it was new implements and I always love seeing the women tackle new movements. I think more than the men because it just shows that women can be strong too and
That's funny because all the guys you root for, like the men that you root for,
mhm.
sucked in that workout.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's okay. That one this one's for the women 'cause,
Okay, that's fine.
so I really liked that one again because it shows the whole mental part of competing of like you have the choice. You can break down, lose your shit and kind of throw all the hard work that you've done out the window or you can decide to like get pissed off but lick your wounds and keep going and I think that was so cool. Um I also love a good heavy barbell. So I really liked the I like the clean or I like the ladders, I guess you could say, like the clean ladders or the snatch ladder. And my favorite, I think, of all of those is the ones with the twist. So I did like the bar muscle up clean ladder, just because it was a little bit of a twist. It wasn't the same, but I also love watching them move fast and lift heavy. Not to steal Christian Harris's
Yeah, I was gonna
logo,
say that's
but
a
I think it's so cool that you can move heavy weight like that super fast. Um, so yeah, I don't think I have like a favorite games, but I think I have a couple favorite events.
all right. Well,
So
I gave you my predictions. What's yours? Who are you looking forward to, men and women at the games?
top three or just watching?
Just watching.
Mm, well, the men is easy. Patrick Vellner, Jeffrey Adler. Oh, maybe I am a Canadian
Yeah,
rooting for the
weirdo.
Canadian.
The hell.
um, and I agree with you. I'm interested to see Roman have a solid games. I think last year, and I don't know if you would agree with me on this. I think that Roman just made a lot of mistakes. And I think that if he didn't make certain mistakes in certain workouts, I think that he would have had a different outcome. So I'm very interested to see how he does this year and
I'm
have a
so
solid
curious
games.
too. No one's ever talked about this, and I'm very curious too.
Mm.
I wonder, like, okay, so at the Capitol,
Mhm.
I wonder how he didn't win that. Like, I wish
I think it was wasn't it the run? Didn't he kind of fall back on the run a little bit?
not. I mean, not a, like not enough to
Do you remember what place he got in?
crap. No, sorry. I if any event, if I would have picked any event for Roman to win, I would have picked the Capitol.
Yeah.
So I I was so like, what is
Mm.
happening
Mhm.
while I was watching it? And I mean, because Ricky kind of, I, I don't know.
Ricky
I,
what? I'm just looking up to see if they have the I don't remember what place he got in. That's right. No, they don't have it up there.
yeah,
Um
I expected Roman to win that one. I thought he was gonna,
mhm.
and I, I mean, I don't know. I don't, I would just love for somebody to ask like that question, like where,
Like what happened?
yeah,
Yeah.
where'd you lose it on the Capitol? Because
Mhm.
I just didn't see him. Not that he finished poorly,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
just like, dude, I thought you were gonna win that one.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how he does because I think it was the hat trick too, where it was the dumbbell squat snatches, the single one. He just kept like he would either go from the hang, he wouldn't touch the ground all the way, he would do one less, or he would like do two in the same arm. Like he was getting like those no reps. Like, and I think that I'm very, very interested to see how he does and if he how he does
so
with
you're
this.
saying if he has a clean games, the way that you wish Patrick Vellner would have a clean games because he's your favorite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I also am
So
looking
you got
forward.
Patrick. You,
I am also looking forward to the fact that Patrick Vellner might have a perfect, not perfect, but a better
you
games.
just love him because he's a ginger
Is
and
that what
you're
it
a
is?
ginger. Yes, that's yes.
I think for me, it's like he's so close. He's so
No,
close.
you have loved Patrick Vellner forever. Like that's he's been your dude forever. The same.
Once Josh retired, then
Yeah,
yes.
that's true. Yeah,
Josh was my
that
first
yeah.
official original favorite. And then he
Yeah, he
retired
was
and
your
then
first CrossFit love, and now your next CrossFit love is yeah, I got it.
So it will also be nice if Vellner decides to have a showing like he did at semifinals. Fans, fans would appreciate that. So if he sees this ever once, maybe we're rooting for you, man. Just have a clean run, okay? Appreciate you. um.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh, for
I'm
the women though,
yeah,
let's see.
go for it.
I'm really, really, really looking forward to see. I guess here's another HWPO. Like, I'm really excited to see what Amanda Barnhart looks like at the
Oh,
games.
okay.
So I'm super excited to see how she pulls it together this year. She looks great. She has been training obviously with HWPO and whatever. I think she's another one. I think she's had some holes in her game that have really kept her from not showing everything that she can do. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does this games. Um, who
Yeah,
else?
we're both looking to see how the former Ben Bergeron
Crew does. Yeah.
now
I
that
mean, Channy Smith is going to be up there too. Chandler Smith. See how Channy Smith does.
I mean you got away from
He's been working with Sam Dancer.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't
They're
see that.
they're like in all of these pictures together and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I love Channy, and I think
Yeah.
he's going team next year, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, because it's
I
Noah's
can't wait to
last
see
year.
that.
So, and him and Noah are going to go team next
Yeah.
year. So,
That's fine.
so I'm excited to see Amanda Barnhart.
Okay.
Hmm. I'm also looking forward to seeing Ariel Lowen, Power to the Moms. That's my girl
Yes.
right there. Power to the
Yeah, she's
moms.
super cool.
Showing
Yeah.
us that she can
Yep.
navigate motherhood and be badass and kick ass at the games. Like power to the moms, shouting out my mom girl or whatever. And then I'm always a fan of Annie. Love to see what her games looks like this year. So I would say those are probably my top 3 that I'm looking forward to seeing.
So we're not so far off
No.
or super far off, but it's fine.
Yeah, and I think that I think those ones.
I just want to see what the champ does because he's in love, but his girlfriend is killing it. So, like, if his girlfriend's killing it,
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. It's gonna be super different than any of the other CrossFit years. So,
How do you feel about the events being that were shared already? Like the 5K, I think Helen was released. I think Grace was released too. Like, how are you feeling about these
I'm excited to see what Grace is gonna be because they've done
heavy Grace
yeah
and double Grace?
and double Grace.
Mm-hmm.
So just like DT. So I'm excited to see how or are they just gonna be like, hey, yo, Grace and hurt and die.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're gonna win just regular Grace
Mm-hmm.
for those athletes,
It's gonna hurt.
you're gonna hurt and die.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool either way. But I'm excited to see what the twist will be with that. I'm excited to see what the twist will be with the 5K always because yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see what that will be. Yeah. I don't know. It's so different. I know a lot of people didn't, but I loved what Boz did with the games last year. I thought like the single unders,
Mm-hmm.
all of the hey, figure it out in one event. Like I thought that was great. I loved every second of watching it as a spectator. I don't know if the athletes loved it. I'm sure they didn't. I loved yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to see and especially with Dave back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see what Dave and Boz put out together. Because I don't think Dave will change Boz's programming, but I think he'll help it make it look better logistically.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, uh, yeah, I think it's gonna be a good time. I'm super excited. I feel like all of the people who are supposed to be back in the CrossFit space are back in the CrossFit space,
Mm-hmm.
and should be fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think this is a good little back to the beginning of where we started.
yeah,
Of
it's kind of a full
kind of
circle.
a full circle
Yeah.
from where we started. And yeah,
Mhm.
I also agree with you. I think it was a really cool shakeup to the games to have someone like Boz come back and do a lot of fundamental stuff. You know, I'm a sucker for fundamentals and the foundation of movements and stuff like that. And I think it was a really cool switch up that the skills medley was so cool to watch just because it was so shocking. It was like, holy shit, someone like the top athletes like didn't make it to the next
Yeah.
one and all of this type of stuff. And, I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm very interested. I'm not super psyched about the ones that they've released so far, but I'm hopeful that
Really?
no,
Really?
no, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what
You don't
happens.
wanna see someone do, like, a sub 2-minute grace?
Mm. Mm.
Because I mean, my lungs hurt.
Just thinking about it?
Yeah, like
You feel that Fran cough already? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too.
because the way they released that, I'm like, well, fuck it, release Fran. Let's see everybody just.
Can you imagine if this year was like all about the girls? Can you imagine if
I
they
mean, it kind of is.
like if they released more twists on these female workouts, these well-known female
Or even like, okay,
workouts?
so let's say they release Grace,
Mhm.
but they release Grace for women at 105.
Mhm.
And what is
Usually 105 and 155.
so release it 10 pounds heavier,
Mhm.
let them do this. They'll literally just be like, oh, it's 10 pounds. Let's do it the same way we would do it if it was 95 and 145.
Mhm.
Let's go. But it's 105 and 155.
55.
Yo, you're gonna see some hurt people. Like and you know what I mean? Like I'm the carnage afterwards.
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. Yeah,
I
for sure.
cause you don't do Grace. Like I literally did Grace under
Was it 5 minutes? I
yeah.
think under 5. Yeah.
And I was broken after that.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'm never doing it again. I never
Yeah.
did like it I already hurt that bad. I don't need to do it again. I felt like my Grace time was good for a regular person. So I was just like, hey,
I'm good. Yeah.
if you made Grace 105, I would die.
Mm. No, and isn't what was the weight that was just in the open for those cleans? Was it 105?
No, I lied. Great. No, no. DT was under 5 for me. Grace was literally under 3.
Oh, was it under? Yeah.
Yeah. And if you had put 10 extra pounds on, there's no way.
Yeah.
No, my DT was under 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think my best DT was like 9 something.
But it
But
yeah,
what was the for the cleans that I did in this last open or whatever? Was it 105?
girl, I don't know. That
All
was a
I'm
minute ago.
all I'm saying is that if it was
Yeah, like
and I
it
had to
hurt.
do
Yeah, you
20
hurt.
cleans,
I don't think so. I think it was not. I don't.
was it 95? It
But
might have been 95, but it felt like,
with everything, it was
oh,
95. But with everything that you did beforehand, like
oh my
it,
God, it
yeah,
hurts so much. So
yeah.
clean and jerks, my favorite Olympic lift ever, even at 105, like for 30. Oh God, that just hurts. That just hurts.
So I say let him go. Like
Hmm.
just let it be old school.
Yeah.
Let him go. I don't care if it's within 100th of a second somebody finishing. Just watching them try to do legit Grace all out.
Can you imagine if they
Like my
did
chest hurts right now thinking
well
about it.
what if they did, and we'll leave it on this. What if Boz is going to plan it where they do the 5K first and then they have a set rest and then they have to go right into Grace. So say it's a 5K
Yeah.
and then they have like
Ouch.
10 minutes of rest and it's based on your time. So like if I was the last person to run, the like other athletes are already going.
The way they did the 16.
The run
They
into
did they
yeah,
did the hill runs and then
right
they
into
went
the
into
deadlift. Yeah.
deadlifts. Yeah.
Yeah, but what if it was something more like, so if you got in before me, your 10 minutes starts the minute that you finish, and then you have to go right into Grace. So it's not necessarily.
I mean, I haven't looked at the actual schedule of how it perform, but they put out the schedule. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but
That would be pretty
that would be
interesting.
gnarly if that's what they.
If you like finish the 5K,
if you had to do a 5K and come into Grace,
come into
yo,
the stadium,
bro.
come
Yeah.
into the Alliant Energy Center or whatever, have your set rest, and then
True.
you see people just kind of, you have all the barbells out, and you go to your barbell after your time is done and your rest time is done, and then like it's like almost like a waterfall kind of thing.
That's a
twisted kind of thing.
Every second counts, bro. Like you got to get in there and get going.
We got to do it.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well, we'll see what happens. We're less than a week out, and this was a fun test of having a live, so that was cool.
Yeah,
but
we did it.
That was fun.
We did it. We talked all CrossFit. Why would we not? You know.
I mean,
is it even a week? I think it's less than that. Don't they start? They start this Thursday? No, next week, right?
No, it's the 30th right now. So somebody's starting on Thursday. I don't know who. Yeah, I don't know who's starting on Thursday, if it's teams or whatever.
I think it's the age group and the adaptive athletes that start first. Yep. So
well, they might start Wednesday, and then because usually
they finish before, and then the individuals finish out.
Well, we'll see if they give them a rest day, because usually they fuck them up on Wednesday, give them a rest day, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we'll see
listen, they didn't have a rest day last year because of the rain, so I guess we'll see what happens this year. So
all right, super excited, fun,
super excited for the games. So we'll see.
All right, that was cool.
All right, babe, love you.
Good test, love you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.